What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at another draft prospect for the Chicago Bulls, and his name is Vance Jackson Jr. He's a very interesting player in my opinion. Ultimately, I'm going to say right from the very beginning of this video, is nowhere near going to be the 18th overall pick, but another player that the Chicago Bulls have done a meeting and scheduled a workout with. Also a player that at the end of the day is most likely going to go undrafted, so that does beg to question if we're looking for more undrafted prospects to give a chance on this Chicago Bulls team, and where does he fit in terms of what he would bring to the Chicago Bulls if he is to go undrafted. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Vance Jackson Jr. and what do you think he could bring to this Chicago Bulls team. Also, in relation to him, is he going to be successful at the NBA level? Because we got to be honest, entering the draft this season, not many people are going to see him as a top priority draft prospect from the first or the second round, projected to go undrafted, and does have some good strengths to his game obviously, but there are big weaknesses that we will talk about in this video as well. So last he played for East Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, his season averages was 13.1 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 1.2 assists per game, shooting 39.5% and whopping 40.7% from the three-point line. I believe his three-point attempts was around 6.5 three-point attempts to get to that 40%. So you can clearly see where his bread and butter is, ladies and gentlemen. He is a fantastic three-point shooter, and that is probably the biggest reason why Arturas Karnisovas and the front office are looking at a guy like Vance Jackson Jr. because he can shoot lights out from the three-point line, and that's definitely a necessity that the Chicago Bulls should be looking at. We need more three-point shooters. We need players that are going to make them pay for leaving them open, and the more three-point shooters you get on this team, I think the more dangerous that we will be with the way that we played from last season to this season. Simple as that. And he definitely brings that to the table. He's a 6'9" power forward, weighs about 238 pounds. Very intriguing player in that retrospect, but I've got to be honest, outside of maybe the rebounding side of his game as well, outside of the three-point shooting, there is not much to this player that is really, I guess, a big positive about him. I think he's a fantastic three-point shooter. Obviously, there's time and development that you could put into him in the G League, maybe if you give him summer league opportunities and stuff like that, and he could definitely shine through there, show what he's worth from the three-point line. But ultimately as well, this guy is 24 years of age, so he's a lot older than a lot of the draft prospects that we're looking at as well. And the weaknesses to his game does strike me a little bit. I don't necessarily think he's a terrific defender whatsoever, because I think if you get a 6'9" power forward, small forward that could play offense and defense, he would potentially go in the second round. But the fact that his defense is a big weakness to his game, his three-point shooting is obviously a fantastic part of his game, he's likely to go undrafted because of that. So again, nowhere near the 18th overall pick in my opinion, and I don't necessarily want to make this video too long because I don't necessarily feel like this is someone that we need to dive too much into. I think if you watch him, you can clearly see what he's good at. He's good off the catch and shoot from the three-point line. He's good at making teams pay for leaving him open. He can finish around the rim from time to time, but at the same time, his offensive game is pretty much limited to the three-point line from what I've seen, and his defense is a little bit worrying as well. Just to give you a summary of his statistics from, I guess, the defensive side of things for steals and blocks, because I know we need one-on-one defenders, we need help defenders, we need rim protectors. Not a great rim protector at 0.1 blocks per game, not a great steals player with 0.5 steals per game. So ultimately, again, those are the big stats that you look at, steals and blocks. You can also look at defensive rating and stuff like that. He's just not that type of player for the Chicago Bulls, and not type of that player yet. Now, what do I see in terms of the future of this player if he was to join the Chicago Bulls? Well, as I said before, definitely not an 18th overall pick. Will not go to the second round in my opinion. Even if we get a second round pick, I think there are many players, many talents out there that we would go ahead of him. But again, he is projected to go undrafted. So that means the Chicago Bulls can give him multiple opportunities through multiple different type of leagues. The Chicago Bulls can offer him a summer league spot and he can prove his worth there. We can offer him a two-way contract. We can offer him a purely G League contract and have him develop from there. We also could do, I guess, the 15th man rotation thing like we're doing with Matt Thomas right now. Matt Thomas is a fantastic three-point shooter at the NBA level, shoots 38% from the three-point line. That's his specialty. That's what he's known for. Maybe Vance Jackson Jr. could also be in the same vein and be a specialist at the NBA level. Someone that's not going to play great defense, someone that is not going to be, I guess, doing multiple things on the floor to impact the game, but when you leave him open, he will be able to shoot the ball and he will be able to shoot it very well. So I guess there's a balancing act there. And ultimately, at 24 years of age, development's obviously not, and the potential is not massive compared to the other guys that we've talked about, but that doesn't mean there's no potential in him. This doesn't mean that there's no attributes in him that can improve. I can see him improve defensively in the league, and of course, being in the league and playing against the best players in the world, you either get exposed or you have to learn and adapt quickly. So he's going to have to do that at the NBA level if he is to get selected by any team, whichever team gives him a chance. And I do think there is a chance for him there, because the three-point line is a very big part of this game, and a lot of teams will give three-point shooters opportunities no matter how good or bad their defense is. I guess the prime example here would be Duncan Robinson with the Miami Heat. $90 million contract, not the best defender whatsoever, didn't really play for the Miami Heat in the playoffs because of his defensive liabilities, but his three-point shooting was phenomenal for Miami. So at the end of the day, there are good homes for three-point shooters at the NBA level, so he will probably get a chance with an NBA team. If it's the Chicago Bulls, that's great. Would love more shooting on this team, but if it's not with the Chicago Bulls, whichever team decides to get him knows what they're getting, a three-point shooter, but that's really about it. So if the Bulls are looking at this player, that clearly means they think three-point shooting is a priority. And if they really see that as a priority, then go and get this player undrafted. Give him chances in the Summer League. Give him chances in the G League. Give him chances in the NBA. Give him all the chances that you want and see if he can prevail and overcome all the obstacles and, of course, all of the, I guess, doubters that are going to be approaching his way if he's going to sign here. Because I do almost guaranteed that there will be some doubters, because we do know his strengths and weaknesses. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.